But today I actually have a little story time. As the title suggests, I went to a little convention called Saboten Con, which is one I've never been to before. It was a little bit of a drive away, but we thought it'd be fun to check out and see something new. This has been like a big year of me checking out new conventions and stuff. Because, I've always enjoyed conventions and wanted to go to more, but for the longest time, I've just kind of gone to like my local Comic Con pretty much. I never really like branched out and went to a lot of like fan expos, really. But this year, I've already gone to like, my usual Comic Con and then another convention that was in my area. And then now I have my second new convention I've ever been to, which is Saboten. I'd like heard about it last year and I think I'd considered it, but just for whatever reason, I think I was like, "Ah, I want to save money. And I just didn't go. Which I almost didn't go this year. Like I was really kind of set on like I'm probably gonna skip it just to save some cash, not like have to worry about it. But it was kind of last minute. So like yeah, I'd been really debating it, and then all of a sudden this weekend, which it went on from like Friday to today, Monday, I was talking about it with a friend, and we were like, should we go? I don't know. And I was being like wishy-washy. She was like, maybe we should go. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know if it's really worth it. It's kind of smaller, I think. Um, I don't know. I think I can maybe do without. But I am very glad I went because in part of my decision making, I'd been like, you know what, let me check out who the guests are. Like maybe if there's a guest I really like, I'll go. Because I did know Lex Lang was gonna be there, who is the voice of Suguru Geto in Jujutsu Kaisen, but I had already had the chance to meet him at like just like a separate signing thing a few months ago, and I was like, I don't need Lex Lang thinking I'm stalking him by showing up at like two of his signings with a couple months apart. So I'm like, I'm not gonna go there just to just to meet him. Hi, it's going good. I'm just getting into my story time about my day today. I hope you're doing well. I had a pretty big day, marginally big. But yes, I went to a brand new convention, and in looking at the guest list, I was like, ah, yeah, I already know, like, this one voice actor is going to be there, but I've already met him, so it's not like I need to go again and meet him again. But I was like, oh, I'll keep scrolling. I was actually surprised. There was like several VTubers who were listed as guests for the convention, none of which I really was familiar with myself, but I thought that was kind of cool when I was looking at the guest list. I was like, oh wow, there's like a couple, like almost like six or probably somewhere around that, probably more VTubers who were listed as guests, and I was like, that's really fun. My first time ever going to the convention. It's been a thing for a while. I have just never gone. It's called Saboten Con. I don't know exactly how long it's been a thing. I just know, I think it's been like at least a few years. It's been going on. But I never really branched out in terms of what conventions I've gone to until recently, where I've started like um, checking out more than just like my usual like Comic Con. Um, oh, you're not dumb. It's okay. Um, but yeah, my first time ever just going to this convention, not necessarily a new one. Where was I in my story? Oh, so yeah, I was looking at the guest list, right? And so I was like, oh, this seems like fun. There's like some fun people here, but so far I was like, ah, no one I was like really need to go and meet. And then I arrived on one particular uh, guest, which was, drumroll, please, is Joshua Waters, who voices Finon in Honkai Star Rail. They just so happened to be a guest there, And I immediately saw their name on the list and I went, oh, holy shit. Well, now I have to go. It sealed the deal. And I was like, well, there you go. I'm not debating it anymore. We're going to Saboten Con. Because, as anyone who may be watching this or has seen any of my Honkai Star Rail streams, especially like my Finon polling video, I make no secret of the fact that I love Finon so very much. So obviously, I saw the voice actor on the guest list, and it was like, yeah, I'm going. I gotta try and meet them. So thankfully, I was able to make it to today, which is the last day of the convention. I literally, like, it was the most last minute I've ever been about a convention. Like, usually I'm pretty good at keeping an eye out on what conventions I want to go to beforehand and getting, like, the early bird ticket sales, because they'll usually, like, a few months before the convention actually occurs, they'll have their tickets go on sale and you can get them at, like, a discounted rate. But, like, yeah, so I'm used to getting my feet pretty good about that and planning, like, okay, I'm going to this convention later, planning this out, blah, blah, blah. I literally, like, bought my tickets for this convention yesterday. So, I'm not used to being that spontaneous. It was kind of a strange feeling. Um, but, so I was very nervous immediately because I've at this point met a few voice actors who I really admire and love the work for. Every single time I'm convincing myself I'm about to have a panic attack at just the mere thought of meeting them because I'm just so socially, like, anxious and a nervous little bird all the time. Like, I get, like, so, like, fluttery in my stomach, and I couldn't even, like, mentally prepare myself that I'm like, okay, I know I'm gonna meet this person there. We're gonna be chill. It's gonna be fine. And then, and, but like this, I was like, okay, I can't even do that. I can't mentally prepare myself. And then day of, I was so fucking nervous. I was so scared. The entire morning just thinking about, like, oh my god, I'm gonna make a fool of myself. Every time I meet a voice actor, I'm like, I'm gonna make a fool of myself. They're gonna hate me. When in all reality, I know it's gonna be a mostly unmemorable experience for them, but it's fine. So I was, like, working myself up into a tizzy about it. The main thing was that I was like, I, like, somehow, as much as I love Finon, didn't have any merch of him already. And I know a lot of voice actors will have, like, prints and stuff at their booths. So, like, if you don't have anything you want signed, you can just grab something there. But I've found that I like bringing my own thing when I'm able to, and, like, bringing something kind of, unique for them to sign. That's just, like, kind of my own thing. But I didn't have anything like that for Finon, but I knew that more than likely there would be at least something, like someone selling something at the con that I could snag and, uh, like, get for him, get signed. Preferably I was looking for something official, because I forget what they're called, but they have, Hoyo makes, like, their splash art into these really nice kind of, like, slightly holographic and like, prints with, like, a lot of, like, depths to them. They're really cool art pieces of the, like, official, like, splash art or, like, cutscene art, whatever. And so I was like, hopefully I was preferably looking for something like that I could get. Oh, hi! Welcome to the stream! Thanks for the follow! Good to see you. And yeah, I was looking for something like that I could get signed. And I wasn't having any luck for the first little bit. I was, like, looking around everywhere. No one had the kind of print I was thinking about. You were at Saboten Con? Oh, that's so awesome. I wonder if I walked by your booth. I did my best to kind of check everything out. Um, so I probably saw you. That's so fun. Oh my god, I love the fact that you were there. Ah, that's cool. Yeah. you had prints of your model, but no, I'll have to check out your page and see if I recognize the model, see if I walked by you. Um, I'm debating posting some pictures of like what I wore because I am proud of my outfit, but I'm like, do I want to do the face reveal? Do I want to keep it mysterious? I'm debating posting pictures on my socials. Um, but I wore this like super cute like pink dress that I have and this like antler accessory that I made. Very fun. But in my walking around looking for artwork, I finally stopped by one booth that I actually see at pretty much every local convention I've gone to so far. They're at like a lot of shit, and they have. I'm forever thankful to this booth because they bring in a lot of official Honkai Star Rail merch and like merch from like Genshin and other things too, like from China and sell it here. So it's a great way for me to get my fix of merch and not have to pay for a whole bunch of shipping or anything. So every time I come across their booth, I always leave with some random official merch I didn't even know existed. And they still didn't have the kind of fine on print I was exactly looking for, but they had this, it's like this small acrylic kind of, I don't know how to describe it. It's like a small acrylic piece with, if you guys remember, the very first artwork of Fine On, Hoyo put out when they were first introducing all the Amphorius characters in the world. It's that artwork in like a little acrylic thingy. It's pretty cute. And I was like, you know what? I'll go with this. I'll get this. It'll be a fun thing to get signed. And literally, and I'd been talking to the lady running the booth, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm actually looking for something so I can go meet the voice actor and get it signed by them. And she was like, oh, that's super neat. As I was checking out, as I was literally like getting my money out of my wallet to pay for the thing so that I could then go and get it signed, she like checks her phone because she gets a text message, and she's like, oh shoot, girl, my friend over who's by the VA booths right now just texted me and said that they're leaving. And I was like, you're joking. I was like, they cannot be leaving right as I'm about to get my thing. So I was like about to freak out because I was like, literally, like half the reason I came to this con was so I can meet this one voice actor. Um, so as soon like I pay for my thing and then I book it. I book it down to the floor below to and like I'm get caught behind the slowest people. Oh my god, that was frustrating. It was the slowest people right in front of me. Um and like I'm trying to like weave through the crowd to get back over to where the voice actor booths are because they're like all the way like there's the artist like vendor hall and then all the way in the back of that is where the voice actors were sat at. And I'm like pushing my way over, and finally I get over to the VA booths. And yeah, I see like the Joshua Waters booth, and it does look like they're packing up. And I was like, fuck, did I really miss my chance? All because I was like shopping around trying to find a thing to get signed. I was like, that fucking sucks. But I was like, you know what? Hail Mary. I'll just like I was like they're packed. I'll just go up and ask like, hey, are you guys like leaving for the day? And that's what I do. I go up and I was like, oh, are you guys finishing up for the day? And they're like, yeah, we are. And I was like, nuts. And then like I just happened to catch the Joshua coming like out from behind the curtain, and they were like, oh, do you still want a selfie? And I was immediately like, are you really? Are you still like willing to? And they were like, yeah. And I hold it up and I was like, oh, thanks. I was like, oh man, I was jokingly kind of like, I was wasting time trying to find a thing to get signed. And they were like, oh shoot. And they were like, you know what? I'll still sign your thing. And I was like, are you sure? Because like I felt bad, like they were like packing up, and I was like, are you sure? And they were like, yeah. I was like, it'll be the last thing I do at the convention today. And I was like, oh my god. I was like, I literally had the perfect last second timing, I guess. And all I have to say, like the main takeaway I have from meeting Joshua is they are the fucking sweetest. Like literally, like from the moment I walked up, They were incredibly sweet, incredibly nice, and they were like, it was just like, yeah, I'll still sign it. Don't worry about it. And they were like, and I was like, oh, okay. And I was like ready to like get my card out. And and don't worry about paying. And I was like, are you sure? And they were like, yeah, it's fine. Like I assume maybe it's because they were already put the thing, like the payment thing away. And I was like, are you? I was like, I'm not like pressuring you. I was like, that was the one thing I was worried about in my mind. I was like, for the love of God, I hope I'm not pressuring them into making them think they have to do this. But they were so sweet and like, yeah. And so it was very nice. Like I was able to catch them like just before they left for the day. Because it looked like, I don't know why they were, I assume it was just something within their schedule. They were leaving kind of ahead of all the other voice actors in the con ending. But I was able to catch them just as they were about to leave. And I was able to have like a little chat with them. Like I kept it brief, I was already holding them up a little bit. I didn't want to hold them up for long, but it's just like while they were kind of signing my thing, and for like a second we just stopped and chatted. I was like, I just let them, I just wanted to like, I don't even remember what I said actually. I just remember word vomiting kind of, because I was like, I need to express in like 5 seconds or less how much I love your character, because Joshua does an incredible job with Finon, and like I was like just seeing, the change in him, and like how they present the descent into madness sort of as we see the cycles unfold. It's really like incredible work, and I'm like honestly very impressed by it. Yes, I would say that I went from being a regular fan to like a huge fan, like mad respect immediately. And I was just so like glad, and I love hearing the voice actors sort of like brief bits of perspective on their own characters, because they made a mention of like they were like, oh yeah, the like reception for Finon has been bigger than I ever imagined. And I was like, oh yeah, I bet. Like Finon has taken the Hoyle community by storm ever since he came out, which must be nuts as like a voice actor, and like I imagine like a very proud moment as a voice actor too, to be able to like look at this character and see all the love. Like I'm like, that must be such a cool feeling. So it was like really fun just to hear that from them. And yeah, I basically just remember being like, because one of the reasons Finon is so special to me, I think, and this is something like I was like telling them, is Amphorius was the first like world in Honkai Star Rail I got to experience as it's been coming out, because I started playing a couple months before the Amphorius story released. But like I spent that time like, grinding and getting caught up. So I was basically caught up with the story like right as Amphorius released. Obviously now I'm way far behind, but at least like at the time, and sort of like even now as I keep up with spoilers as they come out, Amphorius is the very first time I've been able to really experience that with a game, and being able to feel like I'm part of it as it's being released. So like Amphorius is already an incredibly special world to me for that purpose. And so like I love a lot of the characters, and something about Finon very much spoke to me from the get-go, like from the first like release images. I just love something about like the golden boy with all this expectation placed on him is already such a neat thing for me with a character. Going to destroy my OBS. I'm gonna destroy it with a hammer. I'm gonna reach into my computer and destroy my OBS. I swear to God. I swear to God. Um, it just rained by me. I think that's why it's having extra problems tonight. Like it literally, a storm just passed as I started streaming, which is like the frustrating thing. It literally, so I think the storm is just kind of fucked with everything. It is making it even worse at stopping and starting. So bear with me, please. But yes, so as I was saying, just something about the golden boy, and then you add on the layers of like, the cycles, and seeing that descent into madness basically from Finon, which just makes him so intriguing as a character. I swear to God, it's because it just stormed. It's so frustrating. I swear to God, it just stormed. So it's being annoying. Please believe me. Hold on, I'll give it a second if anyone stepped away from the stream. I'll give it a second to see if y'all come back. Ugh. God, it's just like, it's so annoying. I hate computers. I hate technology. I don't know why I started streaming when I fucking can't stand or understand technology in the slightest little bit. Why did I do this to myself? Someone explain. But the basics of the story I was getting to is that it was very sweet and very wonderful of Joshua to be willing to stay behind for a sec and sign my little thingy and take a selfie with me for free, which is crazy. I am incredibly thankful that they took the time to stop and have a little chat with me. So Joshua, if you ever see this, Joshua, you are incredible, and I am so thankful. And I hope I wasn't a little freaky weirdo with how nervous I was. And I hope I wasn't an asshole for making you stay a couple minutes longer. But yeah, that was crazy. That was definitely the highlight of my convention. And had like a lot of fun just being able to do that and meet them. I definitely though, so prior to even that, I was on a freaking mission. Like I could not focus on anything else besides trying to uh find something to sign and then go meet the voice actor. So like I remember walking around the little convention halls and like not even taking in anything around me, just like scanning and like looking and like keeping an eye out for the character. I must have been so annoying to the friend I was with because she was kind of like trailing behind me and I was like, I'm on a mission. I'm like laser focused. She does not play Honkai Star Rail, but I showed her a picture of the character at her request. She was like, "Oh, show me a picture of the character. I'll keep an eye out for things of him too." And so like I even had her roped in on the mission. I'm like, "We're gonna find something. We're gonna do this shit." And um it was crazy how focused I get on like one single objective, and I literally could not focus on anything else. But so then after I was actually able to meet Joshua and like take a breather, I stepped away from the booth and I was like, okay, well, now I can actually take in and be present in the rest of the convention. Where previously I would not be able to focus on anything at all. So at that point, I took like another lap around the exhibitor hall. There's a lot of like neat stuff. Again, it was like smaller than the other conventions I've been to this year. But honestly, I was rather impressed by a lot of what I saw. Like there was a lot of cool cosplayers I saw from some shows I really liked. I saw like some Bungo Stray Dogs cosplayers. Let's see, what else did I see? A lot of Jujutsu Kaisen cosplayers. Like honestly, it felt like there was a lot of them. I was kind of surprised by just like how many I was spotting. I was like, oh, there's another one, and another one, another one, another one, another one, another one. That was crazy. And like, what else did I see? I saw some Uma Musume cosplayers, which was fun. I mentioned it, I think, like a couple times on stream. I've been crazy for that game lately. That's been one of my little hyperfixations, I suppose you could say. Literally before I started streaming, just a little bit ago, I was typing like a madwoman and just dumping a bunch of information about it to my friends in our little Discord server. And I was like, oh, there's this story about this horse. In real life, this Uma Musume did this. Or like, oh, in season 1 of the anime focused on Special Week, but season 2 is about Tokai Teo and blah 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 blah. I was like going off and like just throwing information at my friends who have not played the game or seen the anime. Um, just like chucking it at them. So yeah, I've been a big Uma Musume fan, so I was rather happy to see a couple cosplayers of it there. I forget. I think I saw like a Haru Urara there. I forget. I know I saw more than her. I just can't quite remember who all I saw. Um, but yeah, that was fun. Who else? I swear to God, there was something else I saw some cosplayers for that I really liked. I did see some Honkai Star Rail cosplayers. Maybe that's what I'm trying to remember. I did see some fun Honkai cosplayers. Um, so like which always makes me happy. I think they were like one of the first cosplayers I saw as I was like entering the convention hall. Like I entered and then I like looked over and I was like, oh, there's Don Fong. Yeah, I'm honestly like I think this is probably like the most like the convention where I've seen the most cosplayers of things I like all concentrated together. I saw a Vash cosplayer too, which I don't think I've talked about this on stream. I love Trigon. Trigon. What the fuck did I say? Trigon. Um, love Trigon. Love Vash. So I saw a Vash cosplayer almost immediately as well, and I was like, oh, there he is. I know that guy. um, yeah. So I saw a lot of cool cosplayers. I like seeing the booths that were like all around. There was a few regulars, like again, that I feel like I see at every convention I've gone to this year. Um, I'm like, oh, there you are again. Stop by, say hello. Um, I feel like the one regret I have after a lot of conventions is that I don't stop and chat with more like booth runners. Like, I go to the artist alley and I love like looking around and seeing all the cool art. But I don't always stop and chat. It's so hard. It's so overstimulating when you're in a convention and like there's noises everywhere and we gotta admit it smells kind of like nerd. It's so hard to just like stop and take a sec to like really chat with someone. So that's the one thing I wish I could get more out of conventions would be able to have like more full-on conversations with like new people. Um, but I am at least happy enough to be able to see the fun artwork they put out. And there was a lot of like a very beautiful looking artwork I saw in the like artist vendor hall. Um, I don't remember a lot of the creator names, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. Not all of them smell that bad. Okay, honestly, I had fun at Saboten Con. It was fun. I swear to God, it was fun. But it was a lot smaller than the other convention halls I've been in, where they have a more open space. This one was just kind of like a couple rooms that they had. And I think the smaller rooms and having all those people in those smaller rooms versus a big space really just kind of concentrated the smell a little bit more. That, like, it did kind of make it worse. It wasn't like the worst thing ever, but there's a little bit of a nerd smell that you just can't get away from. Um, but it wasn't the worst, but it was there. Um, but yeah, so it's just like, I would just, because of that and because of all the people, it just gets so overstimulating. So it's so hard to like really stop for a sec and have a conversation. Um, I don't know, maybe that's something I can maybe aim for in future conventions of trying to connect with more fellow fans of stuff. Yeah, it's just hard. I'm so bad at talking to people. I barely manage a conversation on stream, and that's because I can't see it face to face. Try and put me in front of another person who I don't know and expect me to have a conversation as if. I can't do that shit. But yeah, so I saw a lot of that. See, anything else noteworthy I saw? I don't know. One thing I always get a kick out of seeing is seeing like VTuber merch there. Like there was some people selling what I mostly saw was it's funny in like the official so they had like what I call it. They have like a vendors hall and then like a creators hall. I forget that's how they phrased it, but they basically had one room that had more like official stores and stuff, it seemed like, and like a lot more places selling official merchandise for things. And then the floor below it had a lot more like fan artists selling their own creations and stuff. So it was like somewhat split between that. And it felt like there was like a lot of places that had like official Hololive merch, and then but I saw like more like Niji Sanji in the like fan artist area. So that was just, I don't know, it's like something minorly interesting to me. It's like, oh, you see like a lot of Hololive up there, but the fan artists have the Niji Sanji stuff. So just something I noticed that I thought was fun. But yeah, so basically the rest of my convention experience after the signing was a lot of just walking around, actually allowing myself to take a moment and uh, see what was offered rather than being laser focused on my one mission of Fine On merch. And I mostly did walk away with some more official HSR merch. Like I have a whole little baggie full of some cool like little art prints. I got an art print of Sunday. I got a thing with Jing Yuan. It's like a little thing from the recent concert they had. Let's see, what else did I get? I got some Zenless Zero stuff as well. I got a keychain of Lighter. And really cool, I think, is one of these booths had a like patch that was the Sons of Caledon patch. That was like, oh, I can like put this on one of my jackets. Hell yeah, and pretend like, oh, look at guys, I'm part of the Sons of Caledon. So that was fun. I that was so funny. There was one like booth that was like for like an anime store, but one of the people who were running it was like, oh, I also have some stuff in the corner over here that's from like my personal collection I'm trying to get rid of. And they had like this fun little like boot hill like chibi standee thing that I got from them. And I was like, oh sure, fuck it. I'd say the biggest thing I walked away with, one of the coolest things was one of the like booths with official merch had this art book for Honkai Star Rail. And I'd been really debating it at first. Like I saw it before, while I was on my Fine On quest, and I was like, "Oh, that's so fucking cool!" Like it has a lot of like concept art and like turnarounds for the characters. And I was like, "That's fun." I was like, but it's like a little expensive. It was like $50 or something. And I was like, I'm gonna be getting a signature. I don't know if I should swing it and like spend a whole lot. But since again, Joshua was incredibly, incredibly cool and didn't even charge me for the autograph and selfie. I was like, girl math, I already spent this money in my head. I was already expecting to spend like, anywhere from like 40 to $60 on an autograph and selfie. Girl math, that money's already gone. I'll get myself a little something something, and I bought myself the art book. So now I have in my possession this really cool Honkai Star Rail art book. It's in Chinese, so I can't actually read it, but I can admire the art, and that's all I need to do, really. But yeah, I'm trying to think, what else? Did I get anything else? I don't know. I mostly, like, walked away with official merch. I did stop by, like, in the, like, artist alley. I did get some stickers from this one booth. They had like a little sale thing of stickers, and I got like a Kave and a genuine little stickers from them, which is fun. I'm definitely not allowed to spend money for a little bit. No, I do try and budget myself at conventions. I have like some cash money that I've gotten from like dog sitting for a relative and stuff. My uncle, when he goes away, will have me dog sit, and he pays me pretty well. So like I still had a little bit of fun money left over from doing that. That was like my con budget. But yeah, that's my fun money for a while. I'm holding myself to it. Girl, we ain't gonna splurge. Girl, we did all our splurging today at the convention. But yeah, so it was fun. Again, just being able to take that loop around properly and being able to see all the different stuff that was offered. I love seeing kind of some variety when I go to a convention. Um, but yeah, I didn't go to any panels or anything. I rarely do when I'm at a convention. Like sometimes if something really strikes my fancy or if I'm able to catch something, like if they're doing like a panel of voice actors or whatever, I'll go. Like at a convention semi recently, I went to like a Demon Slayer panel where they had a bunch of voice actors. Or it was like last year, I believe. They had the actor for Mihawk from the live action One Piece doing a panel at a convention I went to, so I was able to like go to there. But for the most part, I'm not huge into like panel going. I mostly just prefer to walking around. So I didn't go to any panels this time. There was like a couple that was like, oh, that seemed like it'd be fun, but I was like, eh. Um, my the person I went with was getting pretty tired, so I was like, okay, we'll wrap this up. So we weren't there for that long. It was fairly small. I always get kind of sad when I leave a convention because I was like, oh man, it's already over. I'm gonna cry. But I don't know. I was glad. I try and hold on to like the feeling of being glad that I at least went. Even if I'm sad that it's done. But yeah, I'm I'll probably like go again next year if I'm able to. Like, if I'm able to swing it. The ticket prices on the last day, like that's when I usually go to a con. I will usually go for the very last day of the convention because yes, a lot of the booths will be kind of sold out of stuff and like there might be not as many interesting things, but the ticket prices are always cheaper and a lot of booths will have like final day sales because they're trying to get rid of their shit before the convention ends. So I'm like, that's my strategy, is like going on the last day and taking advantage of those deals. um but I probably will try and check out the convention again next year. We'll see. I'm really like interested by all like the new conventions I've been able to like go to. Like so far, it's only been two really new ones, but I'm excited at the prospect of being able to see uh even more new conventions. Have I been in many conventions? It mostly like for years up until this year, I only ever went to like my local Comic Con. Now I've been to, so far this year, I've gone to three separate conventions, um, including the one today. Um, and I know there's some more upcoming that I am considering. Like I think next month, there's like there's like one next month and one the month after that I know are coming up that I'm like kind of considering checking out. But I don't know. I'll have to see if I can swing it. Well, I have to take a drink. I've been talking too much. um, but yeah. I don't. I just like. I love conventions, and I've always wanted to go to more. I've just always been wishy-washy about like spending the money to go. But I think it has really motivated me to want to go to more. Since like this year, I've been like really actively like been into trying to meet voice actors I really like. Like when I look back, like when I really examine it, I've met like this year, I've met KG Tang, I've met Alejandra Saab, I met Lex Lang, I met oh gosh, I'm blanking on her name. It's Marie Westbrook. Marie West. Oh my god, I'm stuttering. Westbrook. Westbrook. Take a second, Eros. Don't try and rush your words. I met Marie Westbrook. And now I've met Joshua Waters. So like how many? 2, 3, like 5? I've met like 5 voice actors who all of whom I absolutely love the work for. Like that's fucking crazy. That's crazy shit. Um yeah, I'm so like glad that like I've started doing this, of like really taking advantage of these voice actors appearing at the conventions I'm able to go to and being able to meet them. It's so fun and I love having that experience and being able to have this little thing. It's like, oh look I met someone who I admire. And I have a little thing to prove it. But yeah, I don't know. That's what I gotta say about that. I think that's all my convention stories. Um, Somehow I thought I would crash the hell out afterwards and would not have any energy to stream, but I'm fucking still like hopped up on some energy. I'm like definitely slowly crashing, but I have a lot more energy than I thought it would. This morning. I was so fucking tired. I had to wake up like semi early for my like therapy, and I did not go to bed at a decent time last night. Like the sun was up when I went to bed, let's just say that. So I'm like on like a couple hours of sleep, but somehow still vibing, still going strong. Um yeah, final thoughts on Saboten Con, very fun. Um I'd rate it let's see, overall out of 10. I'll give her a 9. I'll knock off a couple points for the nerd stink. No offense to my fellow nerds, I am one of you. Um but knock off a couple points for that, or just 1 point for that. Yeah, again, once again, if Joshua Waters, if you somehow ever hear this, you were incredible. Uh, Joshua Waters is the MVP. We all love Joshua Waters. All my homies love Joshua Waters. And yeah, so like that's like meeting them put me in a big Honkai Star Rail mood, which is why I was like, okay, I'm like part of this stream playing Honkai Star Rail. I hope, honestly, after how many fucking times did my stream crash just trying to get through the story, like 5 or 6 times it feels like. I'm like, is my internet gonna handle a Honkai stream tonight? I don't fucking know. Like, I can try and load it up and we can see. But the stream title might be a lie. Like, if, like, I don't know, man. Hold on, let me try and bring it up. We'll try. I'll see. Yeah, it died like 4 times. What the fuck? Which sucks. I was like, ah, damn it. I was really feeling it. Every time I would get into my story, and it would crash. And like, I don't know. It sucks since it had some viewers, but we lost them along the way with the crashes. Oh well. But whatever. I'm blaming it all on the storm. I thought I was safe because the storm had already subsided and blown past me, but guess I was wrong. I was very, very wrong. It still fucked me up. Okay, let's see. Let's see if this. Listen, if I open Honkai Star Rail and this shit crashes again, I might just call it. I might just be like, we can't do this tonight. We have to save this for another night. I'll give it like one freebie of a crash, but if it crashes more than that, I'll be like, it's done. I think it's a Wi-Fi thing. I don't know. It's just like the error I get every time. Every single time my stream crashes, it's like, oh, OBS disconnected. And then when I try and start, and again, it's like, oh, we couldn't connect to your stream key, whatever, thingy, blah, 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 stream source, whatever it's called. And I'm like, oh my god. Oh my god, fuck you. So I think it's like a Wi-Fi mixing with OBS being stupid. Because it does happen more often when my Wi-Fi is kind of choked. So I think it is mainly a connection issue. I don't know. It's stupid is what it is either way. Anyway. Let's try this. Let's open Honky Starky. And we'll fucking see how this goes. Oh god, now I have to hold on, I have to rearrange all my shit. I almost closed out of my OBS. I would have just ended stream. If I had accidentally closed out of my OBS there, I would have been like, oh, okay, never mind, we're done. We're done, actually. Oh wow, my controller connected right away.